Good evening. This is Jane Hoffman from Political Gravity. I'm going to reiterate my history of Iran and the United States and how it became present-day warfare. But the most important thing to remember is that both Israel and the United States have been depriving the diplomatic atmosphere of a resolution by coming to a military use of force, which will cause Iran to retaliate in an anger way in which they were not super close at all to using nuclear warfare. So once again, Donald Trump has escalated the situation, and I'm going to dip back a few minutes and talk about this situation. So first of all, in the World War II, the Soviets and the United States were both allies of Iran. I'm not reading anything, even though it looks like I am. They were both allies, and neither country liked this, and neither did England, who did an oil investigation of the area and realized that Iran was the fourth largest country that held oil reserves. So it was very valuable to Britain. In the early to mid 1950s, they criminalized Mossadegh, a democratic elected president, and put a puppet government in its place. And his last name was the Shah, like Pavara or Paveri. And then I'm going to skip over until the next section. So then Iraq and Iran became, all this time we were subsidizing Iraq and Saddam Hussein as United States allies with weaponry and airplanes and military hardware to strengthen, up until 1979, the Shahs that we imposed in the region and kept them as allies with the United States and Israel. Well, then came the Iran and the Iraq War, and after the Ayatollah Khomeini took office, a strict Muslim cleric, and changed the course and fabric of the country, then Iraq felt like it was the perfect time to go into Iran and try to seize the region and become the dominating power. All it did is it created a military stalemate, and 400,000 Iranians ended up dying. But while in the course of 8 years, they had planted military mines in one of the Persian Gulf Straits. So also in 1983, Iran partnered with Hezbollah, in which they blew up a large truck bombing in 1983, and also blew up the barracks in Lebanon and killed 241 US soldiers and 58 French. After that, Iran was considered a hostile state and on the terrorist list. Iran mined the Persian Gulf and created ship damage to a United States ship, but it did not sink it. The United States counterattacked with an operation called Praying Mantis, and they destroyed 2 oil platforms of Iran in the Strait of Hormuz and destroyed 6 Iranian ships, which was half of their fleet. At one point, the U.S. was cruising around the Strait of Hormuz, and they went into enemy territory, and they saw a plane flying overhead, and they thought it was a military plane by Iran starting to attack them. But no, it was a commercial plane of Iranians going to Dubai, and the United States killed 292 people, 252 who were Iranians. This was not a good outcome. It made their country distrust us more. In 1995, William Clinton created a very strict Iranian embargo and disallowed American companies from doing any foreign trade with them. In 1996, 19 US soldiers were killed in Saudi Arabia by the Hezbollah and the Iranians. In 2001, it was the 9/11 attacks, which was a massive killing by primarily 15 to 30 men, 15 of who were Saudi Arabian descent, but what American began to classify as full terrorists. However, they searched for them in Afghanistan, not in Iran. In 2015, Obama implemented sanctions, lifting sanctions by creating the Joint Comprehensive Action of the United States nuclear deal, which would have been a cooperative joint effort for Iran to work hand in hand with the United States in exchange for economic goods and services. Up until that point, then there was another problem in which in the early 2000s, Britain captured a ship of Iran in the Strait of Gibraltar, who they thought they were delivering goods to Bashar al-Assad in Syria, which was against UN sanctions. And I'm going to play the rest until my radio host arrives.
Around a month. No weapons of mass destruction were ever uncovered, and the message sent to both Iran and North Korea was clear as day. It was either develop nuclear weapons, or you would be next. North Korea managed to successfully test an atomic bomb just 3 years after the American-led invasion of Iraq, while Iran hastily carried out their own nuclear weapons research as well. However, the United States made it clear that a nuclear-armed Iran would never be tolerated, and a combination of sanctions and diplomacy
I have my first host calling. This is Jane. You're on the air.
What's going on? I'm watching Blackbeard.
Well, I did the first, I did the whole history of Iran so far from World War II.
Oh, you did?
Yes, I researched it. I wrote it down, and then I got up to the part where England captured a ship during the Syrian war that was Iranian, and then Iran consequently captured a ship and held British prisoners hostage that were on the ship. So what is BlackBerry?
Blackbeard.
What's that?
He's the pirate.
What pilot?
Back in the 1700s. He ruled the Caribbean all the way over to Charleston Bay, South Carolina.
And what nationality was he?
He was Spanish.
Never heard of him.
I know you haven't.
I thought he was a cell phone.
No, you know cell phone.
Well, I think John will call in any minute. And before he does, I know Don will probably lag behind a little bit, but what's your opinion of an immediate strike of Iran? And they've already counterattacked in Bahrain and Qatar.
Well, Iran has been killing Americans for decades. So enough is enough.
I went through the whole history about how they partnered with the Hezbollah in 1983 and killed all those Marines. There's been truck bombings, and
you kill kill Americans, you'll be hunted down and killed yourself.
But your main thrust all these years has been that you don't want the United States to engage in another war.
I don't, but I want them to. Anyone that harm America has got to pay.
At this point, though, the fact that their nuclear transmitters were not 100% prepared to attack us, so there must have been another.
They should have been seeking nuclear fuel for power generation. The West offered to give them and uranium that could be used for generating power. No, they wanted to enrich weapon grade.
John's on the air. Hold on. Okay, Bianchi's talking, John, and I'm going to let him finish. So who wanted...
Some fanatical ideas.
All right, from what point did Iran want those nuclear reactors or parts that would...
Ever since the snuff nut virus that Israel posed on their cyber system that caused their centrifuges to run uncontrollably until they self-destructed.
Well, I'm more worried about the timing and the purpose. So you are getting to the point, but I would like a specific answer as to why you think this was a good time to attack them.
Because if you keep putting it off and putting it off and putting it off, they don't stop. They continue to pursue what it is that they're trying to pursue.
Well, it appears to me that Israel might have taken the lead in this situation because today they tried to destroy the meeting that would have prompted Iranian leaders to elect a new replacement for their top cleric.
Well, they would have got away if Iliad Omar posted a message on X revealing the plan, since she's on that committee and heard what Donald Trump was talking about doing. She posted a message with a secret code about America likes to attack Iran during Ramadan. But apparently it didn't get through to her. And, the rest is history. But she needs to face treason.
I'm going to have to look that up. It's also the first day of Israel's Purim, Purim.
Well, I can't tell you about that, Jim.
It's an Israeli holiday. Maybe John can. Both John and Don are on the air now. Would you guys like... I have already done an overview of the history of Iran, and I would like people to comment on this particular timing of why Donald Trump and Israel chose to attack Iran, and what do you guys think the overall outcome will be?
Hello, everyone.
Hi. And is
John, Jackie. Hello, John.
John?
Yeah. Hold on. Hello, Don. Allah Akbar.
So
Allah Akbar.
remember, you guys don't stay on speaker unless it gets like to be 30 minutes, because I hear some crackling. So I would like Bianchi to repeat what he thought Ilhan Omar did to cause an international breach.
Well, she posted on X what that America likes to attack Iran during Ramadan. And she probably done it in secret code that didn't get through to the leaders of Iran so that they could flee for safety.
So she was warning them? She was warning them?
I would say so. But that has to be further investigated. If it's true that she needs to be tried for treason and put to death.
Here we go again. A crop of new people who are gonna die.
Well, that's what the penalty for treason is, Jane.
Well, most of the time Ramadan starts closer to summer.
Well, that's the time when you have evil people like to take advantage of your vulnerability.
Well, this year Ramadan is from February 17th to March 19th. So it's I remember one summer I was in Los Angeles. Ramadan was in June.
Well, it's whatever the culture decides for it to be. I have no knowledge of it myself. I don't practice that.
Well, one question John and Don can answer is that will Iran attempt to nominate somebody similar to what they call the prime minister or the prime leader? Are they going to nominate someone similar to the person who already was in office?
They got plenty Khomeinis. Go ahead, John. The answer is yes.
And what good will that do America? And what diplomatic reasoning can follow?
It's a progression. You have to take out, part piece by piece. And that's what we're doing. We're escalating our bombings just as we speak, and we're going to have a larger presence there. Why? This is a personal vendetta. The Iranians have already, have already tried to assassinate Trump, and who he thinks, and that was a couple of attempts ago. But this is a personal vendetta. And so we're looking at Trump going to the Iranians full blast and saying, I will beat you no matter what.
And he also claims that Iran that has a huge army is going to run out of munitions and missile targets.
That's because all of the targets are missile military based right now.
Yes, and does any of you three agree with that? Or do you guys think that Iran has a...
I think that Iran is getting munitions from China, probably from North Korea. In the long run, they will win. I'm just sorry to say that, Don. In the long run, they will win.
Is this the beginning of World War III?
They'll win in the long run because they perseverance.
They've got bigger populations, and the Western culture populations are dying. And that's because our white leaders, they don't have any soul. They don't have anything that is propelling themselves into the future, and they rely on everybody else for their existence. And without their support, they're not making babies. They're relying on outer space, outer reality programming and entertainment. They're just not with it anymore, and they're becoming obsolete.
Well, there's 330 Americans and 80 million Iranians. And I don't... With all the sanctions, it's not up to speed. Their military is probably not up to speed.
Yeah, they're not going to conquer America, but what they already will. America needs to concentrate on MAGA. I don't care who's sitting in the White House. It can be Mickey Mouse. The concentration should be about putting this country back into the preeminence mode. We got to move forward. We got to progress. Those who refuse to prepare themselves where they can participate and offer for the development and the progress, they need to get the hell out of the way.
Well,
pretty well said.
I'll let John go next, but this is more than a proxy war. We're attacking the enemy straight on.
We're attacking the God. We're actually attacking the gods.
The gods?
The Ayatollahs, or any Ayatollah, is considered to be pretty much a god, the preeminent, religious leader with ties to Allah. And so we're talking about.
They're the B squad. The Christians are the A squad.
Well, we have eliminated dictators. They didn't have the religious ties. This time we are actually killing the people who believe in that we killed a God. So Tianqi's right in terms of the fact that they're going to be persistent for who knows how many decades, maybe.
Well, I'll tell you something the video said after. John, you can go next. John.
Great. Well, there's a couple things that Trump did. One, by the way, the Ayatollah's son, the eldest son, Hosseini Khamenei, also known as Mojtaba, has been named the new supreme leader. Really, in the last couple hours. So
What's his name?
That last
Hosseini Khamenei.
Sorry.
Don wanted to know his name. Hosseini Khamenei.
Hosseini Khamenei, also known as Mojtaba, like Moj, and then Taba. And so they got a new supreme leader. The difference is this. If we remember a few years ago, North Korea was trying to get a nuclear weapon. Now they have nukes, and we can't do anything about it because they can shoot them all over the place. This is going to happen in Iran. So this is why Trump did this. When they had these meetings to talk about how to negotiate this thing, the Iranians bragged, we're up to 60%, and we'll be able to launch like 1,000 intercontinental ballistic missiles. It's just a matter of time, maybe a year, maybe 5 years. But the point is, they were on that path, and once they get it, you can't do anything about it, especially with all these drones. So they defiantly, like you said in their face, listen, we're doing all this stuff we're not supposed to do. We've already gone more than halfway in your face, and so it was a matter they weren't going to back down. Once they get to that capability, they could launch 1,000 all over the world, and we won't be able to do anything about it. So it's very preemptive, and I like it because once the genie's out of the bottle, you can't stop it. And here's the main thing: even if there's no regime change, they don't have any capability. They've wiped out their strike power. They've sunk their boats. They've taken total air control. So whoever comes in there now can't do anything. Can't do anything with force. And the next step is to take out the Iranian army, the national army. And then at that point, the people, since they don't have weapons, could try to take a stand, or they could try to get an army leader to lead them. So that's kind of the hope. It's just strip everything down, strip the police, and then let the people decide how they're going to run it.
Right.
I have a question. Doesn't Israel have an Iron Dome system that can detect small-range missiles?
Yeah, you get like 90% but you get 5 or 10% of that stuff gets through, and you're talking buildings. The thing is, every Iranian, Persian, Jew, in fact, I went to Bluebird Office Supplies, met with Farmas Sadeghi, my former employee of 10 years, and he had escaped from Tehran in about 77 or so, when the Ayatollah took control from the Shah. And
79.
What do you think he thought about these developments? Do you think he liked what's happening, or do you think he hated Donald Trump?
I don't think he liked it because I had a Persian roommate named Shapar Nelly. And
he loves it. Every Persian Jew, if you're Jewish, they love it, because they've been nothing but oppressed, and they killed 30,000 people last month for just protesting. You don't think they love this? They want this. They've been praying for this freedom. Jane, you should go over and live with a hijab and have a man that controls you. You can't say or do anything. You would love it.
Okay, don't
if
put
that
Jane
kind of-
Hoffman as an example. Remember last week?
Well, I'm just saying any woman would love what's happening here. Any Jewish person that's from Iran loves this. The people who don't like it are people who don't care about human rights. They don't care about freedom of speech, because if you're a Christian or an infidel, you'll die in Iran.
I'm sorry that
Turkey.
I'm sorry that Iran killed all their own people, but also I think it's phony that Pete Hegseth said his wife is praying for the 6 American dead soldiers.
Well, there'll be more than 6 Americans killed if Iran had nuclear capability. You realize that, Steve, when they want to launch a missile, they say Allah Akbar, and it's a death. It's a honor killing. They think it's beautiful if they blow up the whole world and the 12th module will arise. It's different than North Korea, because at least as crazy as Kim Jong-un is, he at least doesn't think God. He thinks he is a God. These people think whatever they're doing to kill the infidel, like it's their mission. Kim Jong-un's mission isn't to go kill every infidel, every non-Korean. But that is the Iranian. That's even Saudi Arabia doesn't like him, and all the other Muslim countries, because Iran wants to do it by force. They want to wipe out the world. The other countries want to dance with Western infidels and make some money.
Okay, according to a source, Iran has the knowledge, infrastructure, and stockpiles of enriched uranium to produce a nuclear weapon, but has not. But they're not 100%. They're not 100% there.
They don't have a delivery system, Jay. The only country that we should be concerned of when you talk about that type of destruction right now is Russia, and probably China is coming up. Big China.
Well, the point is that.
So that's cutting off. Strategically, you guys got to understand. He cut off Venezuela. He cut off Iran, and the next, and so strategically, when we're negotiating with all these world conflicts, when the Chinese take us over, you're going to be thanking Donald Trump, because it's like, thank God this he stopped this stuff. You're going to thank Donald Trump when they're not nuking us from Iran or blowing up Israel or doing all these terrorist things, these terrorist cells. So I mean,
do you really think China's going to try to take us over in the next 5 years?
No, it takes longer than that. And I hate to tell you, John, Israel's not going to last. It's just a matter of time.
You don't believe Bible prophecy because people have been saying this for how many? For 5,000 years. Let's see, Egypt, Roman Empire. Remember those things?
Egypt. See, that Bible prophecy didn't come on to recent in history. That stuff is just what it is. It's just.
That's not true.
No, it's 4,000 years ago. If you read Isaiah, Ezekiel, Daniel, what are you talking about? That's a very ignorant statement. 4,000 years. Egypt
they're not going to exist. It just ain't going to happen. It's just a matter of time.
Well, that's what the Egyptians said. How are those pyramids doing over there? Do you see people? You see civilization functioning there? Egypt is a non-power compared to Israel. Correct? Just logistically.
It's just a matter of time which that present Israeli government. A matter of time.
Really? So you're saying they outlive Babylon, they outlive Assyria, Greece,
Egypt Israel did not outlive those people. What you're talking about is something recent, but I don't want to get into that argument. I'm just saying that it'll be just a matter of time.
And then you're saying it's not going to exist.
Well, I think according to the Bible, Israel will survive.
Well, that's addressing. You think Bible prophecies are true. The Bible's not true.
The United States, John, is here by divine intervention. Just look at the history of the United States. It was times when if they had turned right, we wouldn't have been here today. They turned left. You had times when clouds moved in, when Japanese scout planes could not see the surface and identify American ships. So the United States is here by divine intervention.
And who do we support? Who's our biggest?
But
there's 11 million Jews in Israel. There's 11 million Jews in America.
But they don't multiply. You need to support yourself, America.
Well, there's people. Wait, can I say something? There's people that believe in nationalism from a benign level, and there's people going all the way back to the 13th century that supports a religious state such as the Catholic Church over national borders.
Well, yeah, you know the next race that's going when they are called and the curtain is open, it's going to be blacks. Nigeria would be the second largest population in the world. Every 5 people is a Nigerian. I mean, that's just the way it's going to be. The average age is 18 in that damn country. God bless them.
Well, all the white people are going to clone each other.
So you think the Jews are going to get wiped out? Exterminated.
I'm giving to that argument. I'm pro-American, exterminated.
But
I'm not pro-Israel.
One problem: a person should never put their the nation state before their religion. They should put their religion before the nation state.
You should know in America,
the religion is taking over in Iran. So, what do you want, Jane? The religions.
All I'm saying is that this newer generation cropping up in Iran, they don't know anything different but to worship Allah in a strict way. So it's gonna, even if we have some kind of invasive strategy in Iran, I don't think we're gonna. I know there's educated young people there, but I don't know if all those people are gonna buy the American ideology.
so you think it's for the money?
It should be up to them.
I have no clue. All I know is that Trump seems like he's in a rush to destroy his enemies.
Yeah, it should be up to them to run their own country. The United States should not be over there having people on the ground patrolling their country. Hell no, we got enough problems here. Not only that, you got sleeper cells in the United States we're going to have to deal with probably around the 4th of July.
Well, it's
90% of American media is Jewish. The power base of money is Rothschild, and it's in also
Larry Ellison. I don't think he's
Goldman
Jewish.
Sachs. How many Nigerians have real money in America?
They will, I mean,
I don't know.
They've been around. Wait, they're the oldest civilization, so they've been around for what? How many? 10,000 years?
they've been around longer than that, but what I'm saying
He came over from Tehran, and he had nothing. His family came over with nothing. He didn't speak the language. He was 17 years old. He started his own company, and if you live, you don't live in LA. If you live in LA, every major attorney, every major banker, every major doctor, every major lawyer are Jewish. I might run into one black person in the industry, because I used to sell office supply to Century City, all the major entertainment and professional law firms, and you'll meet one, like a Johnny Cochran here and there, but they're all Jewish. Oh,
Don't forget.
what do we need lawyers for?
Don't forget doctors from India.
Well, every politician is a lawyer. Hillary Clinton, right? All these people.
Hillary Clinton and the likes of them will be gone.
Well, she's still here after testifying, Thursday.
She said the fifth, and her husband said no to every question.
Yes, he didn't even know what the Lolita Express was. I didn't know.
Well, at least.
I'll tell you something. Let me tell you this. Look at entertainers today. They don't depend on Jews like they used to. They do their own deals. Athletes, they don't depend on Jews like they. Jews used to own the Harlem Globetrotters. These entertainers, these athletes, they do their own deals. They don't fool with Jews.
They still have sports management people representing them.
They got LeBron James has his own management team, and look what they've done for him.
Well, Jesus is Jewish, so
I'm talking about
that's 2 billion people on the planet following him.
If we're talking
more lives than anyone or anything on the history of the planet, that's a fact. So you can have a really hard time to supplant the Jew and solve the temple.
Nobody, John. I mean, it's just the way it is, man. Nobody.
No, it is the way it is. See, you're not seeing it the way it is. The way it is Jews run the banks and they run the power circles, and the black community. I'm talking Africa. Is the majority. It's a rich country, great people, but they have no power. They're slaves to China. They're slaves to other countries ruling over them, and they're slaves to Islam.
They will kick out the Chinese when and if they got ready to.
I don't think
Just like they kicked out the Jews.
Well,
I don't think we should mix religious intent with international politics, because it's just going to cause an argument.
No, we're discussing stuff. He has a very strong belief that hasn't happened yet, as the black race in Africa is suppressed.
It's not only the black race in Africa, it's the black race here in the United States too. You got elements that don't want to have nothing. Well, they're not doing it. Like I told you, look at your multi-billionaires. They don't deal with Jews.
Right. Same with South America, the Spanish, the Mexican, the Indian. Same with the Philippines.
I hate to talk about my own success. My success in erecting structural steel buildings and bridges, I never fooled with a Jew.
Well, that's because you were in Missouri.
Well, that's too, because you're in the middle of America or in the South. You have to go East Coast to West Coast. It's all Jewtown.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I don't have anything against these people, but they're not going to have the influence that they have had in the past. Matter of fact, they don't have it now. Yeah, you say that they own the media, but look at all these private entities that start their own media firms, their own media reporting and everything. They don't be answering to nobody that's Jewish.
Larry Ellison is not Jewish, is he?
I don't know.
He's Muslim. No, he's Muslim.
No, he's not. He's a friend of Donald Trump. He's.
I thought you were talking about Keith Ellison in Minnesota. Right.
No, I'm talking about the guy who just owns part of Paramount now. Right. He's white. Yeah, he's a friend of Donald Trump. He's not. He's the billionaire and co-founder of Oracle, who has raised Reformed Jewish household, describes himself as a religious skeptic, but does not adhere to religious dogma. He is a cultural Jew and supports Israel, but has been a major donor to the Friends of Israeli Defense.
Well, how can 11 million people that everyone hates survive with 1 billion Muslims?
They survive with American donations.
Well, I agree with you, John. I agree with you, John, that the Jews are prominent, and because of their prominence and their historical impact on religious culpability, that they will be the chosen nation again someday.
Well, that's some doggone dogma. Hey, Don. Hey, John. Yeah, Don. What is the business that Tyler Perry is in?
Oh, yeah, he's got his own media company. He's very powerful.
He's right. All those type of Avenue used to be Jewish controlled. I don't deal with them no more.
Yeah, Magic Johnson too. He's very powerful.
You understand? They don't deal with them no more.
Well, don't forget about all the Christians like Gwen Stefani who are on the Hallow app with Chris Pratt.
I tell you something else. Young blacks don't adhere to Christianity neither. There's a whole different world out there. They're much smarter. They're much astute. They're more innovative. I mean, that's just the way it's gonna be.
But are they into robots? Because you can't compete with the robot.
I was building robots back in the 70s that would wake up my daughter. That had infrared and sonar. When it felt its batteries was going down, it would back up to a receptacle in the wall and charge itself. And when it reached charge, it jump off and started running around. It was about 30 inches tall. So ain't nothing new.
I was going to tell you guys something about another religious movement. With the new pope, there's a new surge in young Catholicism, and he's quickly becoming a world advocate for peace and morality. So don't count out the Pope.
Well, they have their own society, but they're not going to have the impact that they've had in the past.
Well,
Can we have a black pope?
Well, they were expecting the top three to be a black guy.
John, he is black.
You know, one of the most empty places in the cities on Sunday is the churches. Nobody go to them no more.
In my community, there's like 100 churches, and every pew is full.
The Muslims are growing.
And they make a lot of babies.
Well, that's why they're growing, Jane.
The Catholics make babies too.
That's because they're Hispanic, Jane.
Well, I think let's just get back to the subject. Are we going to modify the entire fabric of Iranian culture, or are we just going to hit it? Or are we going to hit it and quit it? Are we going to hit it and quit it?
My opinion, I don't think so. I don't think they want to. The concern should be American. Nobody wants to talk about that.
Trump doesn't want to put boots on the ground. He wants to fly overhead, drop bombs till they just can't fight back, and then okay, you guys figure it out. He doesn't want to do Iraq. He doesn't want to do Afghanistan or any of these 20-year terms or 10-year terms. He's been there 4 days, and they're already freaking out. He's gonna get in and get out.
Did you guys know Afghanistan and Pakistan is in a full-fledged war right now? It's been going on for over a week.
Let them fight and kill each other. I say.
And Pakistan and India are always fighting too.
Yeah, leave them alone. Let them fight each other. That's why God gave us this country that has oceans on either side, a cold, barren place to the north, and a bunch of tacos down to the south.
And the Gulf of Mexico.
It's the Gulf of America.
Not on my terms. Oh God.
It's the Gulf of America.
You live down that. You live that way.
We're Judeo-Christians using the Old and New Testament, the Jews and the new stuff, with the Jew Jesus. That's our freedom structure. Our constitution.
I don't have no problem with it. Jesus come back. I mean, he's overdue.
You're right.
He is too.
Read Isaiah 61. Read Isaiah 61.
He can get a room in the Holiday Inn. He don't have to stay in a shelter.
The prophecy of Jesus is confirmed, and he will come back.
Well, yeah, but all those people of that culture has prophecies of coming back.
He's coming, man. Isaiah 61, the Spirit of the Lord is upon me, because the Lord has anointed me to proclaim the good news to the poor.
He's coming back and he's going to take people with him. I welcome that. Hurry up, come get some of these folks and take them with him.
Yeah, some people debate whether after we die, do we lay in the ground or does our soul go immediately to heaven?
I don't care. I don't want to go.
Do you want to accept Christ as your personal Savior tonight?
No, I do not. But those that do is perfectly fine.
Well, can I read the rest of Isaiah 61 anyway?
Yes, you can. It's your show.
The Spirit of the Lord is upon me, because the Lord has anointed me to bring good news to the poor. He has sent me to bind up the brokenhearted, to proclaim liberty to the captives and the opening of the prisons to those who are bound. To proclaim. So Jesus repeated a 2,000-year-old prophecy when he began his ministry in the church, and it's from Isaiah 61.
That's great. That's a great thing.
Now, Bianchi, do you believe that you're just going to die and become a cosmic dust vapor?
Yeah. That's the dust. That's the dust.
And nothing more.
You have more purpose than that.
Well, yeah, but this is how I choose to live my life. I don't believe in Jesus. There's nothing wrong with those that do. I hope the person that do come back and he take away those that's going to, the 144,000 that they say, can go with him.
Now, do you work with the Jesus calendar, in 2026 in the year of our Lord, or do you use like an African Ethiopian calendar and you put different dates on your checks and your birthday?
I use those things that helps me to navigate through our wonderful society here in the United States.
And I arranged that's what the other thing was.
That's good.
I mean, if you guys are...
You've done your research, so I respect that. That's the main thing. Whatever a person believes, as long as you've done your research, you're comfortable with what you believe, and then you flip a coin. Eternity is a long time, though. I mean, I want to bet my house or my life on a flip of a coin. I don't do as much research as possible, and you're confident with it. I respect that. Nothing wrong with that.
I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father yet by me.
Yeah, because, that is let him be. See, and that's all that...
So can I change the subject just for fun?
Yes, your show.
Okay, I was ringing up a $200 order at Walmart, and I rang up 20 beef jerkies that were $4.46 each. And in the middle of the order, my coworker comes up to me and he says, do you know those were all reduced to $1? So I decided to cancel the order, and I was going to rescan everything and put the price in just as $1. And the customers got mad at me and they walked away. If you were the customer, would you get angry at me?
I won.
Yeah, like they picked out a bunch of cute clothes for their kids. They had a few other items. They had like 40 items. And I didn't want to go through there one by one and override every single price, like from $4.46 to $1. And they just walked off very arrogantly, and they left a big heap of a shopping cart worth of stuff. And I thought that first, it was rude of my coworker to do that. And second of all, because I didn't know anything about the price change. And second of all, it was rude of the customer to do that.
Tell them you were just going to send it all to Palestine to feed people in Gaza.
There you go, because anything goes in retail, anything goes.
So let's say...
I'm surprised you didn't keep the difference.
They have cameras everywhere. I'm not going to do anything unethical.
I'm surprised that, they had cameras at the casinos too.
Oh, we're not going to mention personal stuff.
Okay. Anyway.
Do you want to not?
I I can handle getting thrown off.
I have $700 saved for my new car.
It's going to be a new car, so you're going to put down $700 for a $40,000 car?
No, it's going to be a used car.
Okay. What you looking at? I need one too.
And I don't know, whatever runs, that doesn't cost too much.
You need a 4x4 so you won't get stuck so much, because you get stuck more than anybody.
All of our giant snowbanks have melted this week.
Yeah, it's gotten hotter. The hot front has got through.
It got up to 42 degrees yesterday or today.
Well, we've been in 70 degrees. And that is
Kiss my grits.
breaking records.
So
we're breaking records.
my twin sister went to Texas, and it was in the 80s down there.
They're breaking records too.
I'm
By
glad
the
you.
way, has anyone seen like Kelly Osbourne, the daughter of Ozzy and Sharon, or Demi Moore? Like these people look like Skeletor. I mean, they look like they've aged 40 years.
Yes, I saw a long shot of Demi Moore carrying her dog, and she looks like she's 75 pounds.
They ran into the Jacksons. What do you think?
And Jim Carrey, they say his face. I mean, I look at pictures. It's like it's a different face. I don't know. I mean, I guess he's had some work done. I guess.
He's in the last couple of years. One time he grew.
Eyes are brown now, and they were blue before.
He grew a full beard. I know that much at one point.
He appeared recently, kind of clean cut, and he looks kind of like his face is puffed out.
He's got long hair though.
Yeah.
The Osbournes have not been right since they tried to go up against the Jacksons.
Well, they have a different clientele of followers.
The Jacksons shut them down.
In my book, Michael Jackson is a hero. I like him a lot.
Well, he just got accused of having sex with underage boys at Elton John and
Oh, God.
Yeah, they always.
He died in 2009. It's going on 20 years.
that's what they said. They're finding evidence.
Well, that's depressing.
They always try to bring down those black superstars with some sex allegations.
Yep.
Well, in the case of P. Diddy, he's guilty.
Yeah, well, we're not angels, and anything that can happen will happen. So, Jane, if your people were up there with throwing a fit.
Okay, don't say keep it G-rated, okay?
No. I'm trying to keep this whole show has been sort of pleasant. Everybody's kind of sticking to their, guns, but they are expressing some of these things that they believe. That's a great thing.
So I have a question. Go ahead.
When you speak about Michael Jackson and entertainers, as I said, that's why I left LA.
Why did you have to bring up that crap with Elton John?
We were talking.
Doesn't Elton John have a partner that?
About Michael Jackson being a god, and I don't know if a pedophile is a god. I can't.
Every time these celebrities die, all my friends have these conspiracy things that they were killed by Sony or by this person to get their money, and I'm sure people didn't mind that they were dead so they could take their money. But the whole problem is every one of these people were drug addicts. Every one of these people took drugs. I don't take drugs. That's why I'm alive. Whitney Houston, Michael, they asked for drugs. They paid for drugs. They had aliases. The doctors didn't create the aliases. Prince gave aliases. He had 10 and 20 different names.
I wouldn't call him a drug user. He just had a misfortunate event.
Well, he had fentanyl, but in his meds. But the point is, he was addicted to it. And all I'm saying is that when you take a lot of drugs, you're probably going to die if you have a lot of money. Elvis, same thing. They just way overdosed themselves.
That's probably not wrong.
No, when you get money, you lose all sense of reality.
I mean, how many celebrities die at 50 or 55 who never drank or never did drugs? You just don't see it, unless they drive a car off a cliff. They just or hang themselves.
Not
saying,
share.
I'm just saying, you don't see a guy, he just dropped dead at 50, No, it's always, he was taking drugs, he was taking cocaine, Andy Gibb, Robert Palmer, Simply Irresistible, that guy. All these people, and Kurt Cobain, he shot himself in the, he blew his head out, but he was a drug addict. And the same thing, Michael Hutchins, In Excess, all drug addicts. Amy Winehouse, all on drugs. So if these people would just stay clean, I think half of this conspiracy stuff wouldn't exist. You wouldn't die. You'd have to get a gun and shoot them, and then you go, oh, okay, they really killed him. They really wanted him dead.
I really think that people like Whitney Houston and Amy Winehouse did have a heavy drug use problem.
Oh,
Lord have mercy, people. All of them have it. That's
Not all.
Almost all of them. It's one or
Not Taylor Swift.
okay. He's not.
her drug is love.
We were talking about
Not
Hollywood.
Justin Timberlake.
We were talking about Hollywood.
Not Botticelli.
And Justin Timberlake is an alcoholic.
Okay,
That's his name.
keep the art.
He's a Disney kid. They all get messed up. Britney, she keeps posting all this crazy stuff. She's dancing, her top is falling out, and she's got the psycho look, and she says, oh, I'm just free now, and, I'm celebrating my freedom. Okay, cuckoo girl. All these
J-Lo is in love with herself. Narcissism.
She's in love with her booty.
Okay, Janessa has to use the bathroom. Can you guys go back to constructive dialogue? And my
It's hard to believe in the flat earth if you see J-Lo's booty.
So, by the way, what would be the worst case scenario to happen in Iran at this time? And will the young people restore their internet rights in Iran?
That'll be up to them, Dane. I don't know.
Well, there's two things that can happen. If it's another Islamic Ayatollah or whatever, anyone that's Islamic, they're gonna bring the same kind of stuff. If they bring in someone, say that's like a Zoist, which I don't think there's any, so it's like the Shah's grandson or son. They're thinking of trying to get him, push him back in there. But again, the people, they waver. Like, they had freedom, and the Ayatollah promised them, like every communist does, you'll have all this freedom, and you'll have money and success and so forth and blessing. And he gets into power, and then he suppresses them, just like Mao did, or just like Stalin did. So the promise, it takes a generation or two of oppression for people to go, we're getting raped, we're getting ripped off here. So I think they'll shift. But the problem is the culture. I don't think they can handle it. I think they're going to be runaway in the freedom. Right? You give kids too much freedom after being suppressed, I think they'll go a little crazy. And then after another generation, they'll go, we need conservatism. We need to get the hijab and the burqas back on. Our women are too Western. Because the women are going to be divorcing left and right. They're going to be living loose. And they're not their culture now, with Islam. Unless they go back to Zoism, then there's tolerance for that kind of stuff. I think Don should go over there.
I think so too.
You could rule. You could go to Africa, be a tribal leader, and then take your tribe, just run them right up into the Middle East.
That's a bad idea.
Do you think some of the Iranian girls are just gonna take their hijab off and run through the streets in halter tops?
No, I don't think they're going to do that. You know, the Christian women in Turkey wear hijabs too.
They do?
Yes, they do.
That's interesting. Well, we've been going for an hour now. I think it's a good time to end the show. And starting next week, I have 3 jobs now. I work every day of the week, and Thursday is the only day I can really do a show. Because I don't really think you guys want to do it on Friday or Saturdays.
And what happened to Sunday? Just ask.
Well, Sundays I work at Wally World from 1 to 10. So the earliest I could do a show at 10:30 at night, but I'm half dead from Walmart.
Gotcha.
And John goes in the street ministry then.
Yes, I could get yelled at by Muslims and atheists and trans and gay people.
Oh, is that it?
Oh, and then whatever's left over, Christians who are, I don't know, I guess they feel their obligations to tell me I should be on the streets preaching or to do it differently. I'm like, okay, well, here's the microphone. Go ahead. And, I don't want to say anything. Okay, well, then just, you had your chance.
Do some Christians critique you?
Oh, yeah. Because you'll find the ultra, I'm talking the, like, everyone's beautiful. You can be gay, you can be whatever you want to be a fluffy little animal, and Jesus loves you, and you can't judge people. And it's like, no, Jesus said, don't sin no more, repent. He loves you. Yes, you can't just be all gay and trans and everything. But I don't preach against that stuff.
Can you be a fur baby? Can you be a fur baby?
Well, if you identify as a fur baby, you got problems, right? Because you're a human being.
Yes.
You're not an animal.
I agree. I was just joking. Well,
But out there, they don't joke. Actually, when you see a 6'2", 6'3" trans guy in a short skirt wearing a little bra, and they got their fists like pound, and they're looking you straight in the eye, and they're talking, they're spitting out of their mouth. It's like, okay, dude. It's like you got a little bit of testosterone going there, a lot of rage. So it's not a lot of love from the community.
Okay, well, I've seen episodes where you're singing and dancing with people.
Oh yeah, that's the thing. I just turn up the music and get them dancing, and and then everyone's mellow. So if you just preach, it tends to open people up to yell or argue or heckle. Not always, but you'll get that. I like bringing in music because if they start heckling or trying to argue, like Jesus is a fag, or you're a hypocrite, or you molest children or something like, dude, I'm preaching about Jesus. Anyway, I just turn up the music, and then they can't yell over that.
Okay, well, good night.
Good night, Janessa.
And don't say anything derogatory in the last 10 seconds, Don or John. Bye, Bianchi. Bye, Bianchi.
Bye, Jay.
Don't forget the master race, Don.
Oh, I know what the master race is.
I know I'm joking, okay?
I'm not.
Let's save Iran. Good night.
Save Iran.
I'm gonna look up Ilana Omar's Twitter account. Good night.
All right.